Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So we are on another video 2 days in a row, coming off the heels of the Craftsman Mechanics tool set. So yesterday we discussed the Mechanics tool set. If you didn't watch that video, go ahead and check that out because it's not going to make sense. We're going to talk about this. So yesterday we did a video on this 230 piece Craftsman Mechanics tool set. So in that video I talked about kind of adding things to that kit and kind of not having any room, and then I mentioned I don't really know much about the Versastack from Craftsman, other than they have this that I looked at like 6 months ago. It's really the only thing I know about Craftsman is they have a similar container like this. This is a Stanley, but they have something similar. I was looking at that about 6 months ago because I can't find these Stanleys anymore, and I like them because these are removable. And I have 3 other style that these do not come out of. They're fixed. And I hate them because they're fixed and I can't just take it out and take what I need. It's very difficult to get things out of it. So I'm going to be replacing those 3 with the Craftsman Versastack ones, which I really like. Only because I don't want to spend like stupid money on the Milwaukee ones. I just want something basic. I don't care. I'm not a professional contractor or anything. I really like those Versastack ones that Craftsman has. Yesterday we were talking about expanding on the mechanics tool set, and there's a little bit of space in there to do that. So let me see if I can take one of the drawers out. So we talked about how, like, in the drawer they have back here some space, and even some space in here. So I was looking around, and I went to Lowe's today, and they really don't have a lot. They have this one. They have the bins like I just showed, like the Stanley. And they only have like one other one. They have another one kind of like this, but no drawers. It has a lid that opens and it's deep inside. So I was really going back and forth between those. The one with the lid without the drawers was $25. This one was $40, so it's like almost twice the price. So I was really going back and forth. Do I want to get the toolbox style one, or do I want to get this one? So I got this one because in here it has dividers, so it doesn't have like removable like the Stanley I just showed you. It has this style, so I guess I'm gonna probably 3D print some trays for this. Maybe I might go that route. So I mean, these are obviously too deep, but I'm probably gonna 3D print something like this, so that way I can take them out, and I'm not just like dumping stuff in here, getting it all dirty and crazy. And so yeah, I will probably 3D print. I'll take the measurements off of this, and that fits actually pretty good, other than it being too tall. So I will probably go that route, at least for this top one anyway. So I've left this one, but the bottom one I did add some stuff already, mainly because I'm using this with the mechanics tool set, because I do some light mobile mechanic work. I mean, I try to do a majority of my mobile mechanic work here at the house, just so I have better access to my tools. When I go out, I just do, brake jobs, serpentine belts, radiator replacement, this light stuff. I don't get too crazy, too far away from my house. But even if I go on like a road trip, I want to be able to grab this and go. So I did add some side cuts, needle nose, vice grips. I have 1 wrench there because if you watch the other video, it stops at 13 millimeter, and I have to add some more, but I want 14 up to maybe 18 or something like that. So I'm going to add a couple more of those, some wire strippers, obviously screwdrivers. It's always good to have a magnet, especially constantly dropping a 10 millimeter in the engine bay. If you know, you know. I just grabbed this one gear wrench pick I have. I have a whole set of them. Pocket screwdriver. These are always nice to have. This is an oil filter wrench just for a Toyota. I do a lot of Toyotas, so I actually have a bunch of these. These are specific to the Toyotas. I also have this style here. These are nice to have too. But I have a bunch of the Toyota ones from when I worked at Toyota. So you do kind of need them because most people over tighten those things like crazy. So and then a stream light, and then I always keep the batteries out. One thing I learned about these stream lights, it seems, I mean, I guess it's pretty much all flashlights, but stream light and O light. If you've ever watched my channel, I have a lot of O lights I own, probably like 2 dozen. O light is notorious for this, so stream light, I don't know. I mean, you leave the batteries. Like, I've destroyed a bunch of these Matco stream lights just by leaving the batteries in them. They just leak. I don't know, they just leak. And I've had other brands of flashlights where I've left the batteries in them forever and they've like never leaked, but for some reason the stream lights, I've ruined some of these you can buy these tail caps I've seen them on Amazon, because I have like 3 more of these Matco ones, and all the tail caps have gotten corrosion in them and they don't work anymore, so from leaving the batteries in them. So I always keep the batteries separate, because this is like my last working stream light. I have a million other flashlights, so that's not even an issue. I mean, I have this Coast one that I use that I really like. This is another stream light that I use. It's got the double pocket clips, so you can clip this on your hat, or you can clip it in your pocket. So I mean, these things are actually pretty bright. The Coast one, I have a lot of Coast lights, but this one here, you can adjust the beam. You twist the front, and you can shrink or expand the beam. I've got like a dozen O lights, couple dozen O lights, maybe a dozen Coast lights. Even in the headlamps, I've got this Coast headlamp I use. This is actually an old school one. This one's actually, it's okay. It's not actually the brightest one. It has an adjustable beam here in the front. You twist this. This one's just okay. It's just okay. This is actually way old school technology. I mean, this is probably like, I don't even know. It's probably like 10 plus years old. It has the battery pack back here. You can adjust the brightness with this. So that's how you adjust the brightness, but it's pretty much useless unless it's all the way cranked up high. So I'll probably add a different light. This one's okay. Even this one's not that bright. I've had all of these stream lights for probably 15 plus years. So they're kind of a little bit behind as far as lumens go. They're just not as bright, so it's okay though. I mean, I very rarely need to use it, but when I do need to use it, you know, when you need it, you need it. So one thing I noticed real quick, so hopefully this video doesn't go crazy long like the other one. Typically, I guess, again, I don't know much about this Versastack. You would put it, you know, like this. You would put it like this. Let me see if I can get a bunch of stuff to move. So you'd put it like this, I guess. You can get a bottom one that has wheels, but they lock together. But one thing I kind of noticed is that the locks on this mechanics tool set, you can see here. Okay, so that's the lock. I mean, it does lock. But what I noticed up here, we can get you up higher, is this one. I don't know if you can tell, but this one here is like hollow, and it's kind of thin, and this one up here is like super thick. So when I was playing around with it earlier, I noticed that putting this one on the bottom is actually better. Let's see if I can get you in close here. So if you see here how like thin that is, okay, so let me move this, and then you can see this one here. You can see how much like beefier this is. So it's kind of interesting why this one is so much more beefy than this one. So when I was playing around with it, I actually like putting this one on top, as you can see how much it just feels stronger. Like this feels more secure than those top ones do. So you can see this one, it's just beefier. I mean, you can just tell just by playing around with it compared to up here. Get you up higher. So like here, you can see, I don't know, this just doesn't feel as sturdy. I don't know why it's so different. Maybe at some point they changed the design, because I'm also noticing, you probably can't, I mean, yeah, you can kind of tell, this is darker than this plastic here. This is very black. It's got like a grayish color to it. So I don't know if at some point they changed it, the production or whatever, but you can definitely tell. You can see the color difference. This is gray. It's gray on the bottom, and then black on the other one. So maybe they changed something at some point. But this here, I think, is a pretty good setup. I don't think I will go beyond this. I do want to get the other cases for a lot of nuts and bolts and screws I have over there. But, I mean, this is like a cool little setup right here, right? I like the drawers. That's why I went with this one, because I like the drawers. At first, I wasn't sure, man. I was in Lowe's for a while. I was in there for a while looking at this, trying to decide, driving my wife crazy. She told me just to get both, but because I was looking at the other one with, it's just a deep box. It's basically the same exact box at the bottom. Just imagine with no drawers and just a lid. So it's this deep with a lid that opens. It has latches here that latches shut. So, you know, it was tough. I mean, that one would have been great if you want to throw like a hammer in there. You probably could fit a hammer in there in that one. This is the main hammer that I carry when I do everything. I got this off the Matco truck. I don't know. Maybe it might fit, maybe a little smaller. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how this works out. I mean, if this doesn't work out, maybe I'll just go get the other one. But I will 3D print some bins for this. The only thing I don't like, see if I can get you in close here. One thing I kind of don't like is, so the dividers are long. You can see here, like this. And then these are, you know, these are long. So you kind of have to keep this base one in at all times, I guess, because you can't use these obviously without these being in there. So it is what it is. So I mean, I think I'll keep this one like this. I don't know. I'll put bins back here. Maybe I'll leave these open. Maybe I'll just put bins in all of them. I don't know. Because I think for the bottom one, I think this is about all I'm going to do. I need to add some pliers to this. So like I have these. I'm going to get a set of these in Craftsman. This is an Ace Hardware one I've had forever. But I like the size. So I think there's a Craftsman one that they make like this. Same size. So I'm going to be ordering that. And then the universals we talked about in the other video. I need to get some universal joints in every size. So these here, and these are the old kind of crappy kind. I like the new spring loaded kind, so that's what I'm going to get. So it's not flopping around. But I mean, you know, 3 of these, you know, in here, it's not going to take up any room. So besides adding pliers, maybe some better needle nose. I was just kind of putting stuff in here just to kind of see the space. Some of the stuff might not even stay, because I'm going to order a new pair of needle nose and a new pair of pliers. There's a set that Craftsman has. It's needle nose, a pair of pliers this size, excuse me, and a pair of slip joints. I don't really use slip joints all that much, but it comes with it. It's a 3-piece set. It's actually cheaper to buy it that way than to buy the 2 individually, so I'll just go that route. I can just always leave the slip joints here. I don't really use, well, not in that anyway, the Knipex. I have the Knipex slip joints. I showed in a video a long time ago. Of course, Knipex makes the best pliers around. Let's see if I have them. I have them right here. Showed them in a video. I'll show them again. You can't buy these anymore. These came out last Christmas. And you can only get them if you knew an independent truck dealer. So these here came out last Christmas. They were only distributed to independent truck dealers. Not Snap-on, not Matco. Only if it was a guy who owned his own tool truck. So I know a guy who owns a tool truck. So I gave him a call and I said, hey man, I heard that Knipex is giving out these pliers to you guys. Do you have them? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm getting a bunch of them. So I said, I will pay for a pair right now. And I've never used them, but these are actually the smooth jaw. So if you're doing some delicate work, these are the smooth jaw. Somewhere I have just a regular pair like this in the red, the typical red Knipex. They're missing. They're somewhere. So that, I mean, that's going to go in here, and as opposed to those slip joint Craftsman ones. I'm just going to put, I just want a pair of these in there. I do like these. I know the Knipex are better, but these have a place, believe it or not. I mean, I have had instances where I've needed them, so, and they're kind of like a beater anyway, so I'd rather beat on those than beat on the, if I have to beat on it, I don't want to beat on the Knipex. I'd rather beat on that. So I do like having them. I know it is what it is. It's the nostalgia thing I talked about in the last video. I don't have any of the Knipex side cuts like this. I would like a pair, but I don't have a pair. I still kind of looking at that Craftsman one though. It's nostalgia, guys. It's the nostalgia. I know. I do like the Knipex. They are pricey though, so anyway, so yeah, I think this is going to be the decent setup for doing mobile mechanic work. It's, again, I'm not doing heavy work. I'm not doing anything crazy. I forgot to also mention that video. My son's car needed a timing belt last weekend, and I used this to do that whole job. The only thing that I cheated and that I was not in here, to take off motor mounts, you need a long 1/2 inch like this, and then obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but a deep impact socket to get down in there to get the motor mount out. So if you do timing belts, you know you got to get the motor mount out from down there. So this was, I think, the only thing I grabbed. Everything else I used out of here to do the whole timing belt job. I mean, I guess technically the only thing is it's just it's far down in there. That's the thing. It's far down in there. So I mean, this is the longest that they put in here. So rather than fight it, I grabbed this. I mean, this, I could put this in here, it would fit in there. Oh, I did put these in here. Forgot I put these in here. I'll probably keep these up there. That way, because I was trying to put stuff up here this morning. So I was out here and I was trying to put stuff in these little bins here. And I was like, it's not really working. And I was looking at this last night on Lowe's website. So I was like, I want to go check out that and see. But this here is something that I've had for a while. So it's just needle nose vice grips, but it has a knife here. So it's kind of like an interesting survival tool, I guess. has a knife there and the needle nose. Surprisingly, this has actually saved my butt. I had a radiator hose, heater hose that exploded on me last winter, and it had one of those stupid spring clamps on it, and I was kind of far from home. Let's see if I have one. If you guys don't know what a spring clamp is, I was far from home and I was in trouble. Car was overheating because the hose had split, so it has these nightmarish, these things can go to hell. These absolutely suck. Usually if I have a car, I take these off, I trash them, and I just put a regular. I don't like the regular. I don't have anything in here. I don't think I have. I mean, you know, these, they work. These are not the best, obviously. I mean, if you know, they make a better kind. It's way more expensive. I don't think I have any in here. Yeah, so this kind. So this is actually a better kind. So these are not cheap though. So if you can get these, you see on the top here, I know this is supposed to be about the toolbox, so we're going off on a tangent, but this piece here on the top, it clamps everything more kind of uniform, I guess, as opposed to your traditional clamp here. And of course this just has this little corkscrew in there, and these always strip anyway, so these are better. They clamp more uniformly, supposedly. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're using it on, but so anyway, I keep these. And I used to just keep them in the center console because, like I said, if you know, these things are a nightmare to deal with, especially if you're on the side of the road. So the hose split, so I was able to take this off. Luckily I had these. My toolbox was not in the car. I had taken it out for the one time I had taken it out, and needed it. And even like I'm even struggling now to get this. But this was like down deep in the engine bay, and it was kind of doing the same thing it's doing now. Trying to clamp this down. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and this was actually up against the firewall where the heater core goes in, and it was not facing where I could even get to it. It was like, it was twisted like that. Anyway, for some reason my box was missing out of my car, a bunch of other stuff. This was the only thing in there, luckily. So I was able to get that off, then use the pocket knife here to cut the, luckily it split just past where the clamp was. It split like, so I had just enough hose to cut it, put this back on, and get home. Oh, it also has a, it fell out, but there's a bit driver in here. The bit doesn't stay in there. It's just plastic, so it's falling out. I don't know where it went. I always had problems keeping it in there, but it takes one of these bits. So like that. Is it magnetic? No, it's not magnetic. It's just plastic. So, but it does have a bit driver. These bits are too short. It came with like a deeper bit, and it just kept falling out. I haven't really found any use for it. I'm sure the one time I do need it, that bit will be gone. I wish I would have had it. So, having something like this in your car, this is actually even better than the multi-tool, than like a Leatherman. You are not getting this off with a Leatherman. I can tell you that right now. You will absolutely snap the tip off a Leatherman trying to get one of these off. Ask me how I know. I have a whole video where I rant about how much I hate multi-tools. I hate Leathermans. I have a multi-tool because I ride a motorcycle, and that's the reason why I got it, because I figured it has some tools on there could kind of help me out in a pinch. But otherwise, I hate multi-tools. I think they're completely worthless. The screwdrivers on them are garbage. The knives are usually pretty good, but like the screwdrivers, they're, you know, the first screw you try to take out, it strips. The tips always break off of them. Even the Leatherman purist will tell you that the tips break off on them. I've seen lots of people complain about those where the tips have snapped off. But yeah, so if you have these on your car, have something like this Irwin tool. I mean, I could put a link for this if anyone's interested. It comes in this pouch. I'll put a link because this is, it's almost laughable. You look at it and you're like, this thing really? But yeah, I mean, you saw me just squeeze that clamp, and if you've ever done anything with these clamps, you know how much of a nightmare it is to squeeze those. So if you're stranded on the side of the road and you need to get that clamp off, good luck. You're not getting it off unless you have some kind of vice grip. Either that and a pocket knife or a regular, you know. But actually, pretty sure these would not fit in where that was. This was actually too big because, like I said, it was down against the firewall. And there's no way, because when I got it home, I decided I was going to change the hose out with a new hose. So it didn't do that again. And I tried this and it wouldn't fit in there. So yeah, I mean, somewhere I do have that long tool with the cable, the ratcheting kind that hooks on here. I have a Matco one somewhere. I don't know where it is. But anyway, I'm ranting again. I said this video wouldn't go long, and it's already going long. So that is it on the Craftsman Versastack. If you like the other stuff, if you like the Milwaukee, get the Milwaukee. Get whatever you want. I don't even know if Milwaukee makes. I guess Milwaukee does make sockets, but I don't know. I don't like the Milwaukee sockets, so I trust the Craftsman sockets over the Milwaukee ones, honestly. So, I don't think there's a part number anywhere on this, but I'll put a link, because I do have it on Amazon. It's the same price as Lowe's. This was $41 at Lowe's. I think it's also $41 on Amazon. So it's, yeah, there is the, see if we can zoom in here. It's not going to cooperate. So there's the part number, but I'll put a link to, oops, come on, CMS T17804. I feel like it's an eye test. Yeah, CMS T17804. I'll put a link if you're interested. Zoom out here. So the video's already going long. So yeah, that's it. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. If you have any nostalgia for Craftsman, as I do, even owning tool truck tools. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.